And be assured, Mr. Boone, if it was your intention to fire my imagination with your glowing account of the beauties of Kentucky, you have succeeded admirably. The prospect of resolving the land grant issue for the valiant men who served under me, coupled with a lifetime ambition to travel the trail you have blazed, prompts me to make plans for an immediate personal tour of inspection.
Mr. President, as the man responsible for your safety and well-being, I not only disapprove of this journey,
I wondered how long it would take you to explode, Colonel.
Confound it, sir. How many times must you be reminded that the chief executive of these not two United States has inherited a large collection of enemies? 3 attempts were made to assassinate you before the inauguration. 2 have been tried since. This journey you propose is too great a risk. Kentucky is a wilderness.
Was a wilderness, Colonel, until Boone opened the way for its colonization. As you are aware, he served under me before. I have the utmost faith in his loyalty, and I shall look forward to meeting this young frontiersman again. Now, where was I?
Prompts me to make plans for an immediate personal tour of inspection.
Ah, yes. My aide, Colonel James Lamport, will be arriving at the fort 2 weeks from this date. I trust it will be convenient to meet with him and make arrangements for my journey over Boone's Trace, which I hopefully wish to make under your personal direction. With kindest regards, looking forward to our next meeting, I remain respectfully. Would you read that back to me, please, Mr. Portman?
Dear Mr. Boone.
In reply to your letter of the 21st,
Pa?
I am deeply...
Pa? Is it true, Pa? Is it true, Pa? Is it real honest true?
It's what true?
About President Washington. Ma says he's coming here to Kentucky.
Well, that's what it says in the letter.
You don't seem very excited about it.
Well, ordinarily, I'd be real excited. But under the circumstances, I can't honestly say that I am.
I don't understand, Pa.
Well, neither do I. This letter from Mr. Washington is an answer to one I never wrote in the first place.
Daniel Boone. From a coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippinest, roaringest, fightingest man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a Boone, what a doer, what a dream come true was he.
See how it's possible to receive an answer to a letter that you've never written from the President of the United States. It's the first thing I'm going to ask Colonel Lamport when I see him. Supposing he doesn't have an answer, I'll just keep on going till I get to Mr. Washington himself. I don't like this, Daniel. I don't like it either. That's why I came looking for you. How many people know about this letter? Everybody in Boonesboro, except they don't know what's in it. Only Becky and the children know. What does Becky make of it? About as much as you and I do. Either somebody made a mistake, or somebody didn't. Well, either way, the president's dependent on me. But you're not even sure that he's the one who wrote the letter. That signature could be a forgery. Well, the courier's credentials were in order. It was closed with the official seal. Well, those could be forged, too. This whole thing could be a trap, a ruse to lure you on some fool's errand. I've thought about that, too. You know what I think? What? This fish is much too salty. And you should know by now. You've already eaten 6. Thank you. Now tell me, Daniel, what can I do to help? I thought maybe you might like to come along. Well, the fishing isn't very good anyway. I would like the opportunity of meeting the president. Perhaps even of telling him that my people would like to be a part of this country's future, as well as its past. I'm sure Mr. Washington would be pleased to talk to you. Your turn, Daniel. I'll get the water. Tail feathers are a bit ruffled. You think they're still out there? I don't know. Why would anybody want to kill you, Mingo? Are you sure it was me? It wasn't me. I must have walked within 10 feet of them. They could have hit me with a rock. Evidently, someone doesn't want me along on this trip. Why? I wonder why you received an answer to a letter you didn't write. In any event, I think we'd be safer traveling separately. It makes a lot of sense. Why don't you put all of our extra gear in this hollow log? Where will I meet you? Meet me at Clinch River. Maybe by then I'll have some answers for you. I can't understand it, Colonel. It just doesn't make good sense to me. It may to you, but all I know is I didn't write that letter to Mr. Washington.
It does make sense, Mr. Boone. I should have known about it all along, except that up to now, I've had no reason to doubt the authenticity of your letter.
I don't follow you.
I warned the president not even to consider leaving New York. But, as usual, he paid no attention. He can be a very stubborn man.
I reckon it's lucky for the rest of us he is. Otherwise, we could have lost the war.
Well, I'll tell him you said that, Mr. Boone. I'm sure it'll please him. But it isn't really an answer to our problem.
I'm not sure I know what our problem is.
Sir, isn't it quite obvious? There isn't a doubt in my mind that we're face to face with one more plot to assassinate Mr. Washington.
You mean it's been tried before?
Yes, several times. Oh, naturally, it's been kept quiet, but there is a certain group of men who seem almost dedicated to taking Mr. Washington's life.
I can't imagine anybody wanting to kill George Washington.
Loyalty, Mr. Boone, is a strange thing. There are people who think we still owe allegiance to the British.
Do you know who any of these men are?
Unfortunately, no. But the heads of this group are very clever men. That's why the president's letter was sent in your name. They are well aware of his interest in land grants for veterans and his fascination for the wilderness. They figured quite correctly that a letter from Daniel Boone would be delivered to the president in person.
That's the part that doesn't seem real smart to me. They had to figure that the president would get suspicious when he found out I didn't write the letter.
Well, they probably aren't aware of the president's personal affection for you. They failed to anticipate he'd answer the letter in person, and that is our good fortune.
Yeah, I reckon it is. Now that you know what's going on, you can get on back to New York and make sure Mr. Washington stays put.
On the contrary, Mr. Boone, the trip will take place as planned.
Well, isn't that kind of like setting the president up as a target of a turkey shoot?
You mean you don't see it? These people have no way of knowing that you got an answer to a letter you never wrote. They'll carry on just as planned. And that's our opportunity to destroy them once and forever.
Seems like a pretty good chance to get the president shot, too.
You don't think I'll take that risk? Mr. Washington won't be in the president's carriage. He'll be safely guarded at Mount Vernon, but only you and I will know that. Orderly! Have my horse saddled and brought around to the gate as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
You will forgive my haste, Mr. Boone, but there are details to be taken care of, and I'll need your help.
Speaking of help, Colonel, I've got a friend who knows the country as only an Indian can.
His name is Mingo, mother Cherokee Indian, father British, educated at Oxford.
You seem to know a lot about me and my friends, Colonel.
Most important part of my job.
Well, maybe you can tell me why somebody tried to kill Mingo on the way here.
He was traveling with you?
Up to a point.
Then I assume he knows of Mr. Washington's projected journey to Kentucky.
They read the letter.
That's most unfortunate, but I suppose it can't be helped.
You have objections?
Listen to me, Mr. Boone. One of the would-be assassins we took in a while back was a half-breed. Maybe that explains the attempt on Mingo's life.
I don't like the word half-breed, Colonel.
Neither do I, Mr. Boone. A man's origin has nothing to do with whether he's good or bad. We agree on that. But you can understand my hesitancy. Oh, I have no real objection, Mr. Boone. Only that I don't see his value on this preliminary trip. When the president does make the journey, his advice will be more than welcome.
Mingo will be real pleased to hear that. What's this about a preliminary excursion?
If you'll walk along with me, Mr. Boone, my horse should be ready by now. Due to the risks involved, I have thought it advisable to make a prior study of our intended route. In order to accomplish that, I've added several new men to my staff. For security reasons, only one of them will make himself known to you. That man is already on his way to Clinch River to work with you on preparations for the president's safety. Until my arrival, he will be in charge, unless you object to that arrangement.
Well, there's no objections, Colonel. It sort of works a little outside of my line anyway.
Good. He'll need your help in choosing campsites and plotting danger points along the way. Places where the carriage might be forced to stop and face an ambush.
Well, how will I find this man?
He'll find you. Here's a copy of his orders. He'll give you the original to identify himself along with his other credentials.
Well, what if he asks me for my credentials?
I hardly think you'll need them, Mr. Boone. There's only one of you in all Kentucky, and if I may say so, you are rather unmistakable.
Well, it's just one more question, Colonel. What if folks get curious about this trip?
That possibility's already been considered. You'll simply be acting as a guide in a land survey. You have worked in that capacity before, I believe?
Yes, sir.
All right, then, until we meet again, a safe journey, Mr. Boone.
Same to you, sir. Captain Edgar Newton.
that all there?
His credentials and a copy of his orders. Enough to convince Boone that he's dealing with the real Edgar Newton. May he rest in peace.
Unless somebody in Clinch River knew him. Or knew Telford before.
No. Newton came from up in New York State. Telford's been in England for the past 10 years. I don't think anyone will notice a substitution.
Sit down, Warner. You've walked at least 10 miles since dark.
Captain Newton should have been here long before this. So doesn't that bother you?
Not especially. His horse could have gone lame, or he could have been delayed in some other way.
Or we could have chosen the wrong spot for the rendezvous.
Yes, since it was the same in both orders, I don't think there's much chance of that now. Have another drink. You'll be alone.
You seem to forget we have a schedule to keep, and there's been small allowance made for error.
There might have been a change in plans.
In that case,
allow me to congratulate you on your alertness, gentlemen. I could have killed you both easily. Give me a drink, John. At least I'm glad to see you both here on time.
on time. We've been waiting here since noon.
My horse apologizes. We've been traveling since morning.
And we're not staying the night?
No, Boone's due in Clinch River sometime tomorrow. I'm expected to meet him there.
I'll saddle up then.
No. The colonel thinks it's better we travel separately and meet as strangers. You always had poor taste in rum, John, but I suppose it's warming. To your health, gentlemen. And to the death of Washington.
Looks like you've been riding a far piece, stranger. Riding hard.
Far and too fast. Oh, you take care of my horse for me.
Yes, sir. How long you plan on staying?
Overnight at least.
You look like you could use a rest.
Is there an inn in town where I could get some decent food and lodging?
Well, the Village Inn is just up the street. Ain't really decent, but it's the only place in town.
Thank you. By the way, would you happen to know a man named Daniel Boone?
Daniel? You are a stranger around here, mister. Reckon ain't anybody in the whole territory don't know him.
Well, do you know if he's here in town?
Well, I ain't seen him. He ain't a man you could overlook real easy.
Thank you.
I beg your pardon? Haven't we met before?
That seems unlikely since I'm not in the habit of associating with savages.
I'm sure I've seen you before.
And I'm sure you should be taught some manners.
Fight! Nearly knocked him down! Fight! Somebody get a fight!
Look, we have no quarrel.
Get that Indian! I'll teach you to insult a white man.
You all right, Mingo? No thanks to him. Would you like a free swing at him? That seems to be his style of fighting.
Excuse me, sir. I think there's been a slight misunderstanding.
You're sure of it? Now, you better get out of here, mister. He may not want to swing at you, but I'm real tempted.
I believe I heard him call you Daniel. Your last name happened to be Boone?
Could be.
Afraid I owe you and your friend an apology, sir. This whole affair was entirely my fault. It's unfortunate we had to meet this way, but perhaps the whole incident can be forgotten. For our mutual advantage. My name is Edgar Newton.
Edgar Newton?
Since what we have to discuss is confidential, I would prefer to find somewhere more private. If you'll meet me tonight in the tap room, I'll be happy to show you a copy of my credentials and my orders. Perhaps that will suffice to convince you.
That's too easy, Daniel. Well, he's one of Colonel Lamport's aides. I'm supposed to guide him over the trace in preparation for the president's arrival.
Oh. In that case, I'm afraid I owe you an apology.
What for?
Well, by defending me, I'm afraid you've made an enemy. I don't know, Daniel. Somehow I just don't trust you, Mr. Newton.
I can't say that I blame you.
Well,
where are you going?
Back where I belong. Well, why should I stay here? Don't tell me I've been invited on your little scouting expedition.
Well, you weren't exactly invited, but Colonel Lamport said he didn't object to your going along.
Well, that's very kind of the Colonel, but I don't think I'd like to travel with Mr. Newton. Let this be your expedition.
Seem to be in order.
At least that's one thing between us that's settled. Now, about this afternoon's unfortunate affair. I trust this won't affect your enthusiasm for this mission, Mr. Boone.
I was asked to work with you. I don't have to like you.
At least you're honest, I admire that. As long as you and I know where we stand, we can get along. But as for your savage friend...
Mingo.
Unfortunately, I don't like Indians. Very sound and personal reasons. I've apologized for what took place, but your friend appears to be a little arrogant.
Before you go any further, Mr. Newton, I think you should know that Colonel Lamport has given his permission for Mingo to come along.
Surely you can't be serious. I can't believe he'd trust the safety of the President of the United States to...
You can believe it, Mr. Newton.
I didn't even know the Colonel had been consulted on this matter. Or that your Indian knew what our plans were. Well, in the circumstances, I suppose I'm compelled to respect the judgment of my superiors. I can't say I look forward with pleasure to traveling with your Mingo.
Mr. Newton, he felt the same way about you. He's already gone.
Gone? Gone where?
Back to his tribe, maybe. Gone hunting, he didn't say.
I'm not sure I like that.
You're a hard man to please. First, you're unhappy because he's with us, and now you're unhappy because he's gone.
This was supposed to be a secret mission, Mr. Boone. It appears it's no longer secret.
You don't have to worry about Mingo. I'm going to turn in.
I've arranged for horses and supplies. If it's agreeable to you, we'll leave at sunup.
It's agreeable.
What did you find out?
Nothing we didn't know before, except the Indian's gone.
I could have told you that before. We saw him leave shortly before sunup.
Which direction was he headed?
West.
Then get after him.
At this time of night?
At this time of night, he can't have traveled far.
I don't see what harm he can do.
He knew me in London. Not very well, fortunately, but given enough time, he might remember me. We can't take a chance like that.
Where do we go, then?
You find me on the trail, we leave at sunup.
What do we do with the Indian when we find him?
Just what you were told to do before. Only this time, don't miss.